Buongiorno, Ravenna Nightmares. Siamo con Simon Rumley, Concorso Internazionale, col suo ultimo film, Johnny Frank Garrett's Last Word.
Hello.
Something about this new film of yours?
Okay, well, Johnny Frank Garrett's Last Word is based on a true story about a nun called Sister Tadea Benz, who was murdered in 1980, 1981 on Halloween. And this happened in her bedroom in her convent in Amarillo, Texas. And the police there could not find who did it, so they ended up arresting a young boy called Johnny Frank Garrett, who always protested his innocence, and no one believed him, and he went to court. He was found guilty, and almost a decade later he was sentenced to death. And on his deathbed, he wrote a curse letter cursing everyone who had helped put him to his death. And so this is what that film is about.
Why taking inspiration from this real event, this tragedy that took place? Then you develop it in a horror way. But why starting from this theme, from this history?
Well, this is different from most of my films, in as much as usually I write and direct my own films and quite often produce them. This is a film that I was brought on board to direct. So I came into the process quite a long way through it, and I thought it was an interesting story, and I thought there was an interesting themes which ran through the story. So that's why I did it. But the actual story was turned into a documentary by a barrister, an American solicitor called Jesse Quackenbush, and his documentary was called The Last Word. And one of the producers bought the rights to that documentary, and it all kind of went from there.
You are English.
I am.
And this is your second film shot in the USA. Well, you are in the White Houses, but what are, in your opinion, similarities and differences that you feel with the American way of life or American background? You know, you're English and you play an American. Something is similar, something could be different.
Well, that's a tough question, really, because obviously we speak the same language, and there are many similarities, but many differences as well. And you know, London is different, let's say, to Manchester or in England, or even the villages in England. So the same way, New York is different to Central America and Los Angeles. But I like America. Much like England and most of the world, it has its problems. But I've always found people there friendly, generally pretty honest. Good. A lot of good people there, and I like the culture. I like the music. I like a lot of the films. I've always been made to feel very welcome there. And I guess as an English person, it's a lot easier for me to go there than maybe Italy, for example, where I don't speak the language. But yeah, I think it's and I've actually shot a third film there as well quite recently.
A third film now coming, because the latest question is always if you can say your next project. So it will be
absolutely. Well, I actually have two next projects. One is called Crowhurst, which is set in it's a film about an English man who sails around the world. So I shot that last year, and we're just waiting for it to come out probably early next year. And then I shot a film this year called Fashionista, which we shot in Austin, Texas, and that is with the same actress who was in one of my previous films, Red, White and Blue, called Amanda Fuller, and a lot of the same people involved, and that's about a woman who is very interested in fashion, and she uses clothes as a kind of emotional, what we call crutch, and it's about what happens when her life spirals out of control. And we shot that in April of this year, and now we just premiered it in a festival in Austin, Texas. We're doing our European premiere next, in 2 weeks' time in a festival in Northern Europe, and then hopefully I can come back to Ravenna next year.
Of course. So we hopefully will see your next films in Ravenna.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.